What's up, everybody? My name is Kason. Welcome back to the WDL. This is Season 4, Week 3 for the Champions League here. And for anybody who is a fan of the Champions League, I do apologize. I wanted this video to come out sooner this week, not to come out last. But I was just way too busy this weekend, and I couldn't get some of this stuff to Sandrooster on time. So that was completely my fault. So the fact that this video is coming out last, I was just way too busy this week, and unfortunately real life got in the way. But our bathroom looks a lot nicer now, which is really cool. So that being said, let's take a look at how the standings shake out before we get into the battles. So in first place, we have Maverick, coach of Symphony of the Knights, with a red hot start, 3-0 at the moment. Really impressive. Jesus, McCrane, Turambar, and ReadyPlayerWill, all studs, 2-1 record at the moment. Very strong. And there are no teams with 0 wins heading into this week, which is really impressive. JB, Ram9, Machen, Coppola, SurfTaco, Sandrooster, and Numero all sitting at a 1-2 record. Standings could be anything at the end of this video. It should be really interesting. So we've got 6 awesome fights for you guys before we head into them. Just want to say thanks again to all the YouTube members, all these amazing people on the screen. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. And let's check out the fights. Alright guys, we are kicking off this video with a juicy one. We've got JB79, coach of the Paranoid Androids, on the left side here versus SurfTaco on the right with Britney's Spears. And hell yeah, this is a rematch of the Season 3 Grand Championship, if you can believe it. Both teams only 1-2 at the moment during the season, though. Obviously, both teams are hungry for a victory, as the Win Veritas team are coming out from SurfTaco's side alongside the Rugia. And he's alongside 2 water magic damage dealers with Raychez and Summer Elsie. And it looks like double water damage dealers into the Soul. This might have been an amazing call by SurfTaco into JB's team, as Lightning, the Lightning Unit 9S is going to have to put in a ton of work here, I think, as Soul is up against it. But here comes the Assault Field, attack and accuracy up from the 9S, who's rocking about 10,000 HP. Speaking of which, Raychez is in the same spot here. Sublime Steps, hate down, accuracy up, I think is what that was. I'm not even entirely sure whose TMR that is. I've never seen it used before, I don't think, as the taunting spell comes up from Mia, so she's going to gather some of that hate, try and soak up some damage here. Soul's going to go for the limit break, Chaotic Darkness. Just some absolutely cool animation here. How much damage is it going to do? 5,900 to the Summer Elsie. Also lands the poison. Did it land on Raychez as well? Yes, it did. Honestly, considering that elemental disadvantage, that was a ton. But this Dreamy Typhoon might just heal her back up to full here. This is a guaranteed hit. Big old AoE, 4,400 damage. Also depletes 40 AP from the team. This is one of my favorite limit breaks in the entire game here, as the 9S going to go for Drain Rush. That 3-hit physical barrier is now gone, but she tanked that damage insanely well. Counterman Slash by Raychez just deletes Mia and Soul. They are down for the count, and now 9S is in a 1v3. Umber Bombardment's going to come through. The Rupture hits as well, and this poor 9S, his collaboration is ongoing as we speak, but he is not going to be going on much longer as we speak, as he only has 2 AP left, a standard attack. Gonna remove that Protect Seal, so you can't get rid of that, but unfortunately he is going to drop. And SurfTaco won 3-0 in the Season 3 Championship last time, and unfortunately here he wins pretty handily in this battle. So pretty one-sided affair, but honestly I think that was just a brilliant call by SurfTaco. Expecting the Soul, and the prediction with the 2 water damage dealers was just really well done. Alright guys, second battle of the video. We've got Turambar on the right side with the Fire Ferrets, with the double light team, Stern Wing of Destiny and Sakura alongside the Blade, and the full Sword Knight composition coming out from Coppola and Sword and Sorcery Mercenaries. Should be an interesting one here, as Blade and Sakura both going to start channeling spells. The accuracy and the protect up, as well as the hate down for Blade. This is just a stellar buff for a SR unit, and that is why he is up to 50 cost in our format rather than 40 or 30, something like that. As the Balo, speaking of elevated SRs, a very good tank here, hitting that Keen Blade, starting to walk forward, and King Bradley going to get his courage and physical damage up, and he's ready to hit the enemy team. As Padfoot comes in, this is the Pizarro TMR, hate down, and the haste. Very exceptional Trustmaster, as Lilith now has bells going, so she's got plenty of AP. The Reawakening gives the re-raise to Winged Stern here. I'm curious to see what Balo can do. Gonna go for the Taunting Blade, 1300 damage onto the Sakura, even less onto the Stern. But the main thing is he gathers that hate, as that is the Wind Veritas TMR coming out from Blade. So he does prioritize the AoE buff and then goes for the TMR. Interesting to see if that makes any difference. I expect it probably won't, as King Bradley buffs again, now has 111 AP. I don't expect it to be an issue in this fight, as Rebel Intention comes in, removes Courage from the Bradley, though. That could be pretty big, as Infinite Light is going to chain up some light damage here onto these two units. How much can Stern do? Almost kills the Bradley. This would have been game over immediately had that killed him. He does hang on for dear life, though. 450 health. Calculated Rend comes through. That is a ton of damage to the Sakura, but very little to Stern. Blade going to start channeling another heal here. Kurata comes in for 7,500. So all that damage we just saw from Bradley is no more. Rebel Intention comes through. Bradley is going to drop, and Turambar is in fantastic position to take this victory here, as Stern with 58 AP is going to remove the Balo. He has the re-raise. He is now Super Balo, but he is going to have to be Super Duper Balo to pull off this one, because this is going to be a massive uphill climb. Sakura with a Rending Bright Blade. Honestly, not a ton of damage. Lilith is just off in no man's land. She is lost right now. She is without a paddle, trying to come upstream here. She has no idea what to do. She has still not been able to hit everybody. I think her entire team is going to be dead before she gets an opportunity to do anything. Is this, I imagine, is probably a Cura from Valade. No, it's a Kurata. The single target heal onto the Stern, as Sakura probably seals this kill here. Rebel Intention will just do it, and Lilith says, guys, where did we go here? As Stern hits for 5,800 damage, her entire team of friends are gone before she can do anything, and to make matters worse, Stern is going to reflex the Hazard Break, just barely doesn't kill the Sakura. And a bit unfortunate in this fight for Coppola, as it looks like Turambar is going to take this battle very, very handily. And we are starting the day off with two very, very one-sided fights here. But congratulations to Turambar and the Fire Ferrets. Alright guys, battle number 3 is going to be JesusLBL of the Strawhats on the left side versus Symphony of the Knights, coached by Maverick on the right. The Helena, the Black Rose, obviously going to get that major AoE buff online to start this fight out. Obviously a huge physical damage mitigation. As speaking of physical damage mitigation, Grifford and Halloween Lucio are ready to go with their own physical barriers. Unfortunately, for Maverick's side, there's not much physical damage coming out from the side of Jesus. All respect to Uni, of course. As the Aurora of Blessings comes through, this will help against some of that light damage from Helena. I think the biggest question in this fight is, does Helena have the accuracy? The Wind Veritas team are coming out from the Uni. Could be pretty big here. A lot of times we do see Halloween Lucio running his own TMR for his turn 2 buff. Curious to see if that's what he goes for. No, he goes for Swift Wind Defense. Curious, is that on purpose, maybe expecting the Wind Veritas TMR on the other side, or just something he wanted to use? The Sleep Reaver comes out from Grifford, does not land on a Jesus, though he is fully prepared for it. Disrupting Axe Throw still doesn't kill Mish. I will say this, Mish is doing a damn good job of tanking. He just soaked up both Grifford and Cyrell. That is fantastic. But it looks like Grifford has his dancing shoes on. He is going to juke the flare from Mish, and that is massive, because I expect that would have been a ton of damage onto the Grifford. The Arrowfall will proc that one-hit barrier for Cyrell, but Halloween Lucio is going to clean up this Mish, and unfortunately with that flare not going off, this is going to be an uphill battle for Jesus. But if anybody could pull this off, it would be this unit right here. She is absolutely disgusting in terms of her ability. She is not disgusting to look at. As Rose Fulmination comes through, a good chunk of damage onto Cyrell, but gets dodged by, was that Grifford or Halloween Lucio that dodged it? No, Lucio was the one who dodged it. Grifford took like 1,100 damage somehow. I'm not entirely sure how that just happened. Maverick, are you using cheat codes? What is going on? As Sleeping Throw, or Sleep Reaver, puts both units to sleep, Cyrell is going to take out the Uni. Halloween Lucio is going to Dispel Slam onto this Helena. And guys, I thought this was going to be a battle of titans and maybe the first close fight we had today. Not so much, unless Helena can turn the tides right here. She's going to go for a holy. She doesn't have the accuracy. She just takes out the Cyrell, and Maverick is going to have a convincing win here. A Sleep Reaver comes in for 1899, still not quite enough to take her out. Trying to make me a liar here when I say the battle is over, as the Mortal Draw removes Re-Raise and removes Helena. And guys, this is unreal. For the Champions League, that has been super competitive all season, the first 3 battles this week are kind of one-sided stomps, but damn, Maverick starting out the season 4-0, huge congratulations, and very, very well executed. Alright guys, the next battle is going to be McCrane's Scarlet Moon Empire on the right side here, with the husband and wife combo, Elda and Helena, alongside Shells to support them, and Ram 9 going with an Ice Water composition, excuse me. And we see Titus from Final Fantasy X. We haven't seen him come out yet this season in the WDL. Very cool to see as he's going to start channeling a Hastiga, and Life Circulator comes up from Ramada. This initial turn rotation from Ram 9 is absolutely beautiful, as this Hastiga is going to land on all 3 here. The Shells is going to go for the Limit Break. Puppet Master. It looks like Elda not starting the fight with any sort of initial hate, which is pretty huge for this comp and why it can work so well. Courage going to land on Helena and on Shells, and now Elda can Limit Break, get Courage for himself as well. So the entire team on McCrane's side has Courage. They're going to have crazy resistances, especially due to the fact that Shells can provide some of that. And this team might not look scary on paper from McCrane, but I promise you it is. As the Hastiga does land from Titus, he's going to go next with the Zombie TMR, obviously going to lap his teammates since he didn't have to move. Saves about 200 CT on that turn order there. He gets Re-Raise online, Courage online for Reagan, so almost everybody on the battlefield has a Don't Die ability on at the moment. Is Helena going to walk forward, level 4 Darkra, not in range to hit for a bigger attack, soaked pretty well by that Titus here. Can Ramada reach anything? She can. Dread Spear dive, 3,000 damage, not bad, onto the Helena. As Elda does have hate, but he is out of range. And Shell's going to go with the Rite of Safe Passage, so this is what I was talking about. AP recovery on crit, protect, AoE resist, crit evasion. These units get really, really tanky when this is online, as the Monk sub-job is here for Elda. He's going to get attack and defense piercing rate. I expect his next attack to deal a ton of damage. I also expect that to be onto the Reagan, as he is the ice unit. Blitz Ace. Guys, look at this damage mitigation. He just took a 4-hit limit break from Titus, and his counter thrust did more back to Titus than he took on that limit break. This is absolutely bananas. Mountain Dive does 1,700 to the Helena because of all that AoE resist. Just beautiful team building by McCrane, but Vacuum Slash coming through from the Ramada. That is a single target piercing attack, which means Helena is just barely hanging on because of that Courage from the Shell. She would have been dead without it, but she might get an opportunity for a big old limit break. That 1 HP bar might be all she needs in this fight, and this looks like, for first time, a close fight on the video. The Tenable Rose comes through, kills the Titus. Ramada is going to barely hang on here as the Black Rose healing comes through. Reagan's going to heal himself back up. And oh my goodness, here we go, guys. Reagan should be able to find the AoE. Crimson Blade Strike is going to take out the Helena. Going to remove the Courage on Elda as well. Can Titus chain up for some damage here? There's a 2 slash chain going on here. Quick hit plus only 2,100. I am astounded at how well this Elda is tanking this damage. It is just absolutely nuts to me. As a Curative Prayer is going to come through for the Shells. Now can Elda basically 1v3 with some heal support? I don't know. Dread Spear dive for 3,500 damage is a good chunk, but Elda should be able to take her out. Earth and Glory is going to hit all 3 units. Lands a double slow. And guys, that slow might be the difference in this fight. Titus and Reagan are still going to go next. Quick hit lowers the CT on Elda, but the slow is enough so that Titus is now no longer allowed to lap. Azure Blade Strike going to chain. Guys, I think this slow might be the difference here, because a heal is going to come through. I think Elda would have died, but he's going to get another attack off. Can he kill anybody? 78 AP. Earth and Glory does proc the Courage, but can't kill Titus, and this is actually looking pretty good for Ram 9. I thought McCrane might be able to turn that here. The slow, though, looking at this turn order, Hien comes through for Titus. Can they get through this Elda? This guy is just a brick wall. Shells is going to go for another heal. Does it go off in time? What does the casting time look like? Reagan is going to beat her to the punch. He needs to get rid of this Elda. He's going for the summon. I expect Odin probably takes him out here, but it's going to be close whether or not this damage gets it done. He needs to die to give Ram 9 a chance. It does. It kills. It is now a 1v2. This is a fully healthy Shells versus Titus and Reagan. Curative Prayer is going to whiff and hit nothing, but because of that slow status effect, Shells is going to go next. Does she go for a full life? If this lands, it is probably over for Ram 9. It lands the Vivifying Supplication. Oh my god, Titus is going to hit the standard attack. Counter thrust almost takes him out. And guys, this fight had so many back and forth turns. It was absolutely nuts, but I think McCrane is about to take this. Ram9 could taste it. It was so damn close. Unfortunate that slow was the difference in this fight 100% due to multiple reasons. I think there were a couple of times where Ram9 probably would have lapped or gotten past, especially with the quick hit from Titus dropping that CT. But the slow just slowed those turn orders too much and obviously allowed Shells to bring Elda back. And man, that was wild. Just an absolutely excellent fight by both players. Two outstanding players. Unfortunately, one of them had to lose, but huge congratulations to McCrane for pulling that one through. Alright guys, 2 fights remaining here. Get Fucked on the right side, aka Sandrooster, coach of Unicorn Gunfight 2, Electric Boogaloo, with the absolutely crucial Calamity Guard coming out on turn 1 from Moschery alongside the full Mace comp. And on the other side, numero 80 with the Blessing from Afar on Shuts Out. This is one of the Winter VC's abilities. It gives a nice little magic barrier to him. And obviously that Shuts Out is alongside Rain and Veln for this fight. His Yildir Limit Break is going to come through, so obviously extra CT. And Heart of Flutter is here for Summer Ketone. She's going to start walking across the map here. Try and put some damage down. Veln, is she in range to deal damage? Sometimes her Night Hunter can be deceptively long range. It is not though. Preventative Medicine is here to nullify some of those crucial status effects as the Heart of Flutter comes through for Rain. And this is what I like to see from numero 80's Rain. He does not have the Flaming Impact on. It is there for the slash attacks only. This oftentimes allows him to basically get that unit attack resist up so that he doesn't get baited into doing a long range attack. As Broken Swords, Shattered Staves, I believe is what it's called, really good damage onto the Rain, and the Veln here shuts out. What does he have to answer here? Has not used his Courage skill yet. Pressured Hazard comes through, does not land the stop, and that was basically no damage. Moschery is going to come through with a Hallowed Ray. Veln is going to drop, and that is unfortunate for Numero. I think his chances of winning this fight are already gone here, as Rain is going to go for the Shining Nova. It's going to drop that fire attack resist, but I just don't see it doing a ton of damage here. And this Mace comp from Sandrooster, I'm telling you guys, he might have had a rough start to the season, but I could see this team putting in work against many, many teams. It is deceptively tanky. It doesn't look like it should be, but it is. Katone's Swim Ring attack coming through. Beautiful limit break animation. I expect this to kill Shuts Out. 8,800 damage. It is going to drop him. Rain is going to hang on for dear life, but he is going to take a little snooze-a-roo here, as Summer Ketone is going to finish it off with the standard attack. 1,600 damage, killing the Rain. And a huge congratulations to Sandrooster on the win. Well fought by numero 80, but unfortunate. It just wasn't enough. So, very, very huge win for Unicorn Gunfight 2. Alright guys, capping off week number 3 here. ReadyPlayerWill on the right side with Fight Club. It's going to go with the Double Fist plus Surge's composition, getting Fatal Oath ready to remove Courage from the other side. As Greater Domain of Water is here for Perrine, making her nice and tanky. And it looks like a full Red Mage composition coming out from MaechenX, getting that HP absorb on the party with Howl of the Heavens Blade, Fryevia, and Cecil. It's a very cool technique here as Keenblade comes out from the Surges. He's going to start walking forward, and that is a 17,000 HP stat for Fryevia. I know Machen loves his ice units. I would not be surprised at all to see this Fryevia as max reincarnated. As the buff comes online for Cecil, he's going to start walking forward. Yrel, I imagine, going to go for Courage here? No, actually going to go for the King Bradley TMR, so opting into that TMR choice for Will instead of the Courage. As Greater Domain of Water is just going to get refreshed on Perrine here. Obviously, the buff only hit 2 units last time, so she decides to hit everybody. Leaping Assault hits the backline here, does not proc slow, and in fact, the counter comes off for Fryevia, giving her regen and healing power. That is brutal for ReadyPlayerWill. That is a bit unlucky, if I do say so myself, as Howlet, the Heaven's Blade, comes in for Siphonic Breaker. Surges barely lives it here. Yrel, is she in range to deal damage? Yes, she does. Increased movement, 3-step Star Trek will take out that physical barrier that Cecil starts the fight with, but he tanks that damage quite well here. as Fryevia is next up to bat. And what does she go for with tons of AP? Is it the Limit Break or is it this Spellveil Blade? She is thinking long and hard about this decision. And what is she going to go for? Fryevia trying to test me as a Shoutcaster. As the Spellveil Blade does come through, the defense comes up, kills the Surge as it is now to a 3v2 in Maechen's favor here. As Cecil is next up to bat, and he's got plenty of AP himself with 52. Can he chain up some slash damage on this Urel? And can I keep stalling as this cast goes? No, I can't because I don't have to. As the Sacred Rage comes through, the Limit Break slices him up, dices him up. 1100 damage, though, is very, very little. Urel is quite good against slash attacks, I believe, but the stun lands, which is brutal for ReadyPlayerWill, as this Fight Club member is not going to be doing any fighting until next turn. As Howlet, the Heaven's Blade, is ready to deal damage as well, and the entire team of MaechenX is going to get to go again before Urel. That honestly surprises me because she was hasted up, but that is a ton of damage. She does catch the CT up because of her fists, but it's not enough. Fryevia should be able to chain up here. Chicken Blade is going to do it. Urel is going to drop, and Perrine is a good unit, but I don't know, guys. A 1v3 in this spot? I don't think so. Cecil with 9 AP, probably just going to buff, as I don't think he has enough AP or enough range to deal damage here. In fact, he doesn't even have a buff. He's just going to stand still and look pretty. He does have some pretty fabulous armor. As the big old AoE comes through from Perrine, does good damage to Cecil, but the other two units tank it up quite well. As Howlet, the Heaven's Blade, is trying to put the staple on this match here, trying to put the stamp on the match rather. Siphonic Breaker for 5700 damage, going to heal him back up to full 2. And this red mage team from Machen looking incredibly scary. Cecil should be able to actually do something on this turn. What is he going to do? He's going to die. He doesn't even get to attack. I take back what I said, as Perrine and Fight Club taking out their rage of this probable loss in this fight on Cecil. Poor guy just got absolutely wrecked there. As Fryevia's going to go next, should be another Spellveil Blade, maybe even a Limb Break. We'll have to see, as there are so many dead bodies on the screen. Enough of this for 5200 damage. Okay, maybe I could counter jinx this into being a close fight. I keep saying this is probably over, but maybe not if Perrine keeps countering for 5000 damage. I mean, good lord, as she gets the heal back. Hold on a second, guys. Did I just curse this into being a comeback victory? Subjugating Fist for 8400 damage. What the hell did I just say? Perrine is going to lap. Oh my god, guys. I just cursed this. I thought this fight was over. Perrine just clapped Fryevia. It is now a 1v1 between Howlet and Perrine. I thought this fight was clearly over. Siphonic Breaker does a ton of damage, though. 7600. Perrine is going to have to basically one-shot him to have a chance here. Gonna go for the Limit Break. Motherly Punishment. This is going to give her haste. There's no way she can lap again, right? That would be if she laps again. She does not lap again. Howlet is going to go next. Can she get another counter for enough of this? It might. Oh, she does. 3600 damage. Gets the CT up, but it is not enough. She is going to drop. And holy shit, guys, that fight was actually wild. I thought that fight was gonna be a snooze fest based on the way some of the things went early on, but Perrine actually made that incredibly exciting. Damn, that fight was wild. Huge congrats to MaechenX on the win. Well played by ReadyPlayerWill as well. If that stun doesn't go off on Urel early, maybe that fight's a little different. It's hard to say, but either way, great game and GG. All right, guys, week 3 is officially in the books now that the champions battles are over. And holy cow, these standings are wild. Maverick, coach of Symphony of the Knights, continues the hot streak here with a 4-0 start to the season. Just impressive as hell. Turambar, coach of the Fire Ferrets, and McCrane of Scarlet Moon Empire, two staples of the WDL, starting off the season really well at 3-1. Turambar does have the head-to-head record tiebreaker over McCrane, so he is currently sitting in second place. JesusLBL of the Strawhats, ReadyPlayerWill of Fight Club, MaechenX of House Shoopuf growing Stronk, SurfTaco with Britney's Spears, and Sandrooster, of course, with Unicorn Gunfight 2 Electric Boogaloo. They are all sitting at 2-2 at the moment. And currently, right now, this is an interesting tiebreaker situation between these 5 teams. Again, the tiebreakers, who knows if they matter at the end. But as of right now, Jesus right now is +1 because he beat Sandrooster head-to-head. So Jesus is currently winning the tiebreaker of these 5 teams, and Sandrooster is in last. These other 3 teams, though, have all beaten each other once. So Machen beat ReadyPlayerWill, ReadyPlayerWill beat SurfTaco, and SurfTaco beat Machen. So this does not mean they played 0 games. It just means they're even on the tiebreaker. They're both 1 win, 1 loss on that 5-way tie. Now, heading our way down here, in 9th and lower, Coppola, coach of Sword and Sorcery, Mercenaries, Ram 9 of the Rock Boys, JB79 of the Paranoid Androids, and Numero 80 of the Blind Enthusiasts, all currently sitting at 1 and 3 right now. Coppola and Ram 9 both beat Numero 80 head-to-head, though, so based on those tiebreakers, Numero would technically be in last, Coppola and Ram would be tied for 9th. But again, when it's all best of 1, everybody plays each other once. The tiebreakers won't matter a whole lot till the end, but these standings are juicy, man. There are 9 teams at 2 and 2 or lower, all within a game each other. So yeah, from 4th to 12th, all to be within 1 game. I think it's going to be really interesting. I think it's going to matter all the way down to the final week to see who makes the playoffs, so it should be good. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I apologize for the videos being a little late this week, but I hope you understand that real life happens sometimes. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week and have a wonderful day.